Hey folks, welcome to the very last TWiP Pro photo critique of 2020. This is it. We made it the entire year doing pretty much a photo critique each and every week. This week's critique topic was botanical, and the TWiP Pro community came through and ton of great images to look at this time. But before we dive into that, I just wanted to sincerely thank all the folks that participated in our critiques over 2020 and the ones that will participate in our critiques going forward in 2021. Also, have a safe end of year and a prosperous and healthy start to 2021. And with that, it's on to the critique. This is TWiP. What did you think of this week's crop of botanical imagery?
I thought they were great. You know, I'm always impressed with our community. They always rise to the occasion. Sometimes not in the kind of numbers that you and I kind of predict, right? Depending on the topic. But there's always amazing images in there, always. So yeah, we're really good. And I'm looking at all the winners from this year, and I'm like, damn, there's some good images in there.
Yeah, I know it's going to be good. What a good idea you had about, kind of structuring this into more of a formalized thing, which I have yet to introduce or announce what the prizes will be for this here critique. But we will do that eventually, where we talk about the award ceremony and that kind of feel and how all that's going to go.
Right.
So this will be precedent setting, because this will be the first one, hopefully, of years, many years of these kinds of events. But it's good. It's good. It's exciting. Hey, before we start, you want to see what I've been playing with over the past couple of days?
Oh, let me see.
Did I tell you about that at the mixer?
Yeah, oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I need a case for it. And now I got to find a buyer for my little one for the 11-inch. So if you know somebody that wants an 11-inch with the Magic Keyboard, let me know.
Yeah,
This
great.
This guy right here. Well, not that one without the thing on it. Yeah, the little one.
Yeah.
So, all right. Oh, Stephen Scharf says, ping me later. You have a deal. you, sir, the money from that one has to buy my Magic Keyboard for the new one. And, then I'll be good to go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. Are you ready to do this?
Yeah. I've got it all organized.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's do it. Welcome, everybody that's watching this live. Eric Pronsky's in the house. Stephen Scharf is in there. People are starting to file in. I expected a light turnout today, because this is kind of the off week, right? People are not on their normal schedules, so they're like, there was a critique today. Is it Monday? Armando Brook is here too.
Oh, hey, Armando. I woke up thinking that the last one was the last one, and I'm like, I better go check my list.
Yeah, no.
So
this here is the last one.
This is the last one. How could we forget botanical?
That's right. All right, let's dive in. Speaking of botanical, share the screen here. And let's get rid of that. And here we are. Okay, we're sorted by date created. The last one in. Stephen put this one in, but then said to skip it and go with this one. So let's go to Silver Ferns. Stephen Scharf. Wait, did he put a note on this? Let me go back. What did he say? Hold on. No, just Silver Ferns. Okay. All right. What do you think?
I really enjoy this one a lot. I love the simplicity of it, and then just the texture and the pattern is great. I mean, we don't have to look very hard to kind of figure out what we have here, and I love that a lot. My only nitpick is that the highlights on the fern leaves at the upper part of the image, I wish were toned down to kind of match the highlights on the lower half of the image, because I feel like the whole subject is the same, and I don't think we need to be drawn to a particular area. In this image, it's kind of the whole image is the main subject. But other than that, I I really enjoy it. I like the crop. I like the, how close it is, the patterns, the
Yeah.
tonality.
Yep. I agree. I like it. I'm not that fan. I'm not that much of a fan of borders and key lines, but in this situation, perfect execution. This works, and it actually, the border and the key line actually add, for me at least, a level of depth to the image, because I feel like I'm looking down into these things versus them sort of just laying off to the edge and being bordered by the border or the edge of the photo. It feels like I'm looking through kind of a portal into these guys, into the ferns.
Sure. Yeah. And this would print just fantastic. This would look great, big. This is something that you could have a series of or something. I mean, this is just very classic and timeless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Well done, sir. Well done.
Yep. Very subtle. Key line's nice.
Yep. All right. Next up on the list is Raphael Timbergeek Swift. He says Transitions Botanical, shot with his D7000 Nikon. All right. Got a square crop here. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Troy's holding up his hands. When Troy holds up his hands, that can only mean one thing. Crop.
Well, right away I look at it and I'm like, okay, the flower with the petals kind of falling off is the subject. It's the hero with this image, but it's centered horizontally or vertically, right, on the horizon. And then it's to the right, and it's not in a classical local rule of thirds or anything like that. And I'm like, I need to get it there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to crop off the left twig and the top of the image and really focus in on that flower. And I think that's really where we're gonna strengthen this image a lot.
I agree 100%. Yeah, I think when we put on our who's the star of this one framed movie, it's the dying flower, right? And the two twigs are photobombing. So I feel like that dying flower should, like you said, should be larger in the frame, and the distracting elements of those other two guys should be either removed or subdued somehow so that we can see who's the hero. Right now, I just feel the flower itself is competing with the two twigs on the left side. So make that not happen.
Yeah.
I think it'll be stronger.
Yeah, the twigs themselves are not subject matter. They're really distracting, and they really don't add anything to this image. And I think that, at the moment of capture, it would have been nice to either move them out of the way or step to your left to get that flower away from the twig, and then just really focus on the flower.
Mm-hmm.
That's really the image here. And the shallow depth of field is wonderful. All of that is great. It's just you've got those twigs, and I don't think they add to this image at all.
Yeah. But it is botanical. So cool. Win-win. Cool. Thank you, Raphael Timbergeek. All right, next up is Michael Rhino. Michael Rhino says, my entry for the botany photo critique is this field of sunflowers just after sunset. Oh, I love these shots. These are so cool.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. That was like a storybook almost.
I know. And you guys have this like up where you're at. You get these seasonally too. So
Yep. Miles from my house.
I've driven past them on my way to a place where I had to be at a time, and I could never stop. But I just was like, oh, look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, it's like, is that real? Yeah, look at the rim light on the petals of the main sunflower. It almost looks copy and pasted in there, doesn't it? Because of the way the light is hitting it.
Yeah, it's definitely real. I really appreciate the way that it's the composite. I mean, not the composite, the composition. I love the composition of this image. Two suggestions, really kind of simple, is get rid of the leaf in the lower right-hand corner that's in focus. Take that bad boy out, and do a little dodging on on the hero of our shot. This is the face of the flower. Bring out some contrast and some luminance in that. And I think that you would do a lot. It would be a lot stronger image.
Yeah, I agree. Make him pop out of there. I think the other ones are subdued enough the way they are, but that, like, you're right. Our star needs to have a little bit more light on her.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be a lot, but I mean, like, if this was a portrait, you might throw an off-camera flash, or you might throw a reflector in there, or if nature provides a reflector, it would really help, the face of this flower. So it wouldn't take too much to bring that up, especially, like in any kind of raw editor. You just brush it in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very nice shot, though. It makes you feel like you're there. That's one of the one of the benefits we have over you Southern California people. It's our sunflowers up here. Don't be jealous.
Yeah, but we have the beach is 10 minutes away.
Yeah, we don't have that. Yeah, no, we don't have good beaches up here. All right, next up is Armando Brook, who's also in the chat. Welcome, sir. He says, this is the flower. Oh, man, why would you put this in here? Jabuticaba, a Brazilian delicious fruit. The interesting thing about the flower and the fruit is they are growing directly from the trunk of a tree. Oh, interesting. Oh, parasites. Cool. Parasitic flowers.
Oh, man.
It's true.
Cool.
It's true. Yeah, this is weird. This is so cool. I've never seen these kind of flowers before, and if I saw them grown out of a tree like that, I probably would not touch them.
Yeah, it certainly wouldn't think to eat the fruit that's growing on the side of a tree, right?
No, I would not.
Somebody did. Somebody thought of it.
Yeah. Well, so this is botanical, obviously. So what do you think of the shot on the merits of composition and artistic?
I enjoy the colors. I know that Armando likes to saturate his colors, so I appreciate that. That's his style, and I like it. I think having that little blue in the back, contrasting with the warmth of the wood or the trunk of the tree, is really nice. I think what's really hurting the image for me is the highlight of the flower itself in the center is overexposed. And I don't know if that's, the way it was captured, or if Mighty just pushed that a little too far. But I would certainly try to make sure to bring that down and let the tree in the background go darker if you have to. And that's fine. Just make sure that thing's not overexposed. But I like the composition.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the blues in there are competing a little bit with the flowers for me, so I might push those back a little bit so that they're not wrestling for my attention with the brightness of the flowers. But yeah, I like them. Although flowers is a stretch, Armando. I don't know if these are flowers. They're alien.
There's no easy way to crop out the sky and not crop off the flowers and create an odd crop. But I do think that, when you have a color like a blue and a red, they can be very overpowering and they compete. So if you just hold your hand up and block out that blue, I feel like the image just kind of like, it's the simplicity and the color harmony is better. And I just wish that that blue was maybe not there. So, like in Capture One, or I think even in Lightroom now, but you could select that blue and you could bring the saturation down, leave the warm saturation there, but bring the blue down.
Just tone it down back. Yeah. Make it less neon. Cool.
Yeah. Try it. It may not work, but
couldn't hurt. Thank you, Armando, for that shot. And nice, again, with a nice border. See, Troy, you're having a definite effect on the constituency here. All right. Next up is Eric Pronsky, who's also in the chat. Welcome. Wildflowers on a ranch, Texas bluebonnets and Indian paintbrush on a ranch between Austin and Houston.
Nice.
Look at that. Texas does not do anything halfway, do they?
No, that's very cool. I'm playing with the crop. I like where the horizon is. I like the angle of the slats. I like that a lot. What I'm not a big fan of that trap in the top left-hand corner, and I think I think it might be best to crop off the left side to get rid of that post. And I feel like that will really draw your attention into the center. So maybe crop the left side off just to where the bushes are to the right of the post. Crop off those bushes.
Oh, just right
And
here.
then, yeah, and then I like how they're open on the left, they're open on the right, draws you in. I like those leading lines. And then the horizon with those colors and those trees on the horizon line become very centered in the image and your very core subject.
Yeah, I agree. You know, when I was looking at this, I agree with the same thing with the removal of the post on the left side of the frame. But I would love to see. I don't even know if this is possible with the way that these flowers of the field is positioned. But we've got these blue flowers against the green down here, and then here we've got the orange and some of the blue. I would love to have seen this whole thing filled with the orange flowers. So you got like blue flowers and then orange flowers and then sky. And then sky at the top, and then your brain kind of has to work. You can kind of see there's a wood grain. And if you take this post out of there, it really makes your brain work about, okay, what's going on here? The perspective, and then I never see flowers kind of divided like, oh, it's a fence. Okay, I get it, right? So that would be cool. But again, who knows if that's possible with the amount of flowers in that field and perspective and lens availability and all that.
Right. No, but that's a great compositional idea where you would stand up a little bit and you would shoot down a little bit and you would just create the planks and the flowers in these layers. Very abstract. Ooh, I like that a lot. That would be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be a fun shot.
Eric's just gonna have to go shoot it again when the season is right.
That's right. That's right. You got to get back out there to the Texas bluebonnets and Indian paintbrush.
Indiana?
Yep.
Is it Indian?
No, it's Texas.
Indian paintbrush. I heard Indiana paintbrush. I'm like, now it makes sense.
Indian. All right, next shot up is from Michael DeRay, Botanical.
Michael.
All right, here we go. Is this a little soft, or is it me? Or is it?
It is a little soft. The focus is at the bottom of the frame on the pedal. Yeah, that's where the focus is. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Macro is like that. You know, macro, especially if you're hand holding this, even the most subtle movement can throw it off. You may see it in focus when you press the button, but you've actually moved by then and it's off. So, learning to do that handheld or shooting on a tripod.
Yeah.
But
focus
compositionally, stacking. I love it. I wish that the right flower was in focus, and I think that it would just be much, much stronger. But I really do enjoy the composition of this, and the lighting is really nicely handled.
Yep. I do too. Yeah. So yeah, if the shot was sharp, I believe the sharpness should occur here on this flower on the right, the flower on the right. And I like the overall processing of the image, but if the focus is here on the right one, I'd want to bring that one out with just, I don't know, a little bit of clarity or something just to pop it out and get it so that it's not in the exact same color range as the subordinate flower over here, or just make it pop a little bit so that I realize that that is the hero of the shot, the one on the right, automatically. Right now, they're kind of competing against each other a little bit. This one is brighter. The right one is brighter than the left one, but I think we want to see color, right? We want to see that it's a flower. So show me its vibrant color, and only on this one on the right. And then other than that, yeah, I love the light against the black abyss and the composition, the rule of thirds usage, the whole 9 yards. It's really cool.
Yeah, the petals falling off out of focus. That's great. You know, even with a subject like this, though, think about where you want to draw your eye. And I think that what you'd want to do is you want to draw your eye to the face of the flower, right? Or the stamen of the flower, the center, the yellow, and then try to bring the light down as you move away from that. So some dodging and burning on this could really, really have an impact, even though it might be slightly soft. you could still tweak that and get a lot out of it.
Yep, for sure.
And I'm wondering, there is a mask line around the center of the left flower. It looks like
a mask line
the left
around...
flower. Yeah, there's an edge right
are
on
you
the
saying, like right here?
Oh yeah, it goes all the way around. Mm-hmm.
Oh, aha! Tracks. The burglar has left tracks.
There's fingerprints. I see the fingerprints.
You left forensic evidence in the shop, man. Yes.
Yeah, I don't see it on the right, so I'm assuming that that's more natural. But in this case, if you wanted to, dodge that or bring that luminosity up, it's best to do it with a very soft brush, with a low opacity, and then just brush it in, and bring it up instead of selecting it and then bringing it up, which is what it looks like.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Good botanical shots. Love it.
Yeah, they're great.
All right, this one's scary. Nora Zanotinus, seed launching. I saved some flowers that had gone to seed for macro practice. I was surprised by the stem details that you could not see with the naked eye. Let's take a look. This looks like an alien. It's coming. It's coming.
I just, it's awesome because I've come to recognize some of the styles of some of our members before I know who they are, and right away I saw this and I'm like, oh, that's got to be Nora's, right? Like she's really good at these abstract and get in nice and close and really make you look at it and think about it. So I just love it. I wouldn't know what it was if it wasn't entered in this category with a little bit of description, which is really kind of wonderful. I do wish, though, that the top left corner wasn't so vacant. I wish we had some tendrils, disappearing over there, so there was something going on. You could actually crop it, and I would almost say that all of the dark shadowy bits in the lower right and the lower are more distracting than they are adding to the image. I think that if you could get just that seed, I guess that's what it is, more isolated, I think that would just be so much nicer,
Yeah, because where our brain gets stuck down in that bottom area trying to figure out what's going on, and we're also in the middle area looking at the seed and trying to figure out what that is and what's happening there. So there's a lot of abstract confusion in there. I think we could lessen the confusion by either cropping. Would you say cropping some of this off, or how would you adjust this other than shooting differently?
I would. Geez, I would probably crop it. I'm thinking that I would just try to push in as tight as I can, because I think if you just push in and get rid of as much of that dark shadow as possible, I think you could do really well. If you cropped out all the dark shadow in the bottom, you sort of put the highlight of the seed in the lower right third, and then you just crop the left and the top to come in nice and tight. And I think it would work because it's so abstract.
Yeah. It's so fun.
But that may really speak to somebody who doesn't know what they're looking at, and then somebody who is more versed in botany and understands what this is. They may want to see that shadowy part. I don't know what it is. So
That's true. Yeah, that may make the image. I mean, go, hey, you take that out, and someone who understands what's going on here may say, hey, but what about the insert technical name here piece of the
Right. So to the layman, it's like, I don't have any idea what that shiny thing is in the corner. Get rid of it. You're like, no, that's the gas cap. We need that there.
Yes. Yep. Subjectivity. Cool.
See,
Thank you, Nora.
Automotive real quick. I went straight automotive.
I know. Yeah. You can't not. Next shot is from Lamb. Lamb says, my entry for a photo critique. He says, What did he say? Lamb says, at the back of the very old house, the roots of the very old tree and the brick wall have been fused together for a very long time. On the bottom left corner is the back door, and bottom right corner, the toilet ventilation opening. Look at this. More nightmares. Look at this. This is scary. Wow.
Wow. So it looks like they may have built around the root at some time, and then the root kept growing, and just the roots win. It doesn't really matter what you build around them; they are incredibly powerful, and they will win. They
slow and steady. Yeah, over time, right? Yeah, slow and steady. They make their way into wherever they want to go.
Yep. And some roots and some trees will actually consume the alkalinity and the concrete itself and break it down, so it just turns into powder over time, and they just tunnel right through it, and you'd be like, that's a root. Concrete should win. But no. Nature always finds a way.
Man-made versus nature.
Yes. I really do enjoy this. I think for me that this image would do really well in black and white.
Like contrasty?
Yeah, because it's all these abstract patterns. You know, there's patterns in the concrete wall itself from maybe areas that have been painted or structurally or patched or whatever. The squares, which is sort of the man-made structures you see in the top left and lower right corners, left and right corners. And then you've got that organic shape and form that you have of the roots themselves. And I think that it's better if we were to monochromize this. And is that a word? Can you say it? Monochromize?
I think it is now.
It is now. Yeah, I just think that it could do really well in black and white, or some sort of monochromatic toning. I've used too many big words.
In some sort of mono bananarama type.
Yeah. In some sort of pudding thing.
There you go. Just throw words. I agree on the black and white though. Yeah. Probably remove this trap in the lower left, because we kind of get lost in that area. That'd be easy to take out of there. I think. I don't know about this guy in the upper right. If possible, I'd remove that, but that might be some more involved surgery to get that out of there. But definitely this one. That might almost be just a content aware fill over there, right?
Yeah, I would wait to remove those until you see them in black and white, because that might be just the structure that offsets the organic nature of the roots. I don't know. I mean, this is one of those kind of images that for me I would need to play with. Some images I see very clearly right away, and then other images like this one I want to play with it and kind of find its voice.
Yeah, for sure. Well, cool. Thank you, Lamb. Once again, last shot of the year. All right. And next up is Peter Levschen, shot with his Canon 5D. Amsterdam Tulip Festival. Lots of color. That's on the list, too. I want to get there. Look at that.
Wow. That's crazy. It's hard to look at and decide where your subject is. I mean, it's almost like this mush of pattern and color, and I kind of wonder if applying an effect of some sort, a slight painterly effect or something, to throw it into more of an abstract wash of color, because there isn't like a foreground, middle ground, and background, so it's just a wall of color. I don't know. I like it. I mean, I like the color palette.
Yeah, same here. I love this color palette. I'm wondering why it's angled though. I mean, were they actually angled there, or I feel like it'd be stronger if they were all perpendicular, because it's repeating patterns, and for some reason, I don't know, I just feel like I want to see them all straight up and down, military style or something. I don't know. So, or maybe even punched in, like you said, like who's the hero of this? This is multiple shots. Like this could be one shot, then another shot could be a single tulip with everything else out of focus behind it. You know, so there's a lot of shots here. Another shot could be straight down. What does it look like straight down from a drone hovering? That'd be interesting as well.
Yeah, sure. This is a shot that I'm guessing was shot with a long lens, reaching deep into the field, creating a lot of compression, and it's a really wonderful, eyeful. It may also have a lot to do with the fact that we're looking at a lot of red and yellow, and that overloads our eyes really quickly. So that might be part of it. I dig the image. I think that it deserves some more attention and maybe pushed into the abstract painterly category with some filters.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that. Very cool. All right. Peter Levschen. Thank you, sir. All right. Who's next? Craig Stampley. My favorite botanicals. And he misspelled favorite. All right. Let's bring this guy up.
That's cool.
Look at that.
Yeah. I just love the fact that it's got the word dingle on it.
Yeah.
Just makes me giggle.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Dingle.
I've Dingles in my family. That's a common name.
I see that there's Dingle and Barry all in the same frame. I'm just saying.
You're such a child. That is like a complete who is it? Not Bill and Ted. Who are the Beavis and Butthead? It was Beavis. He said Dingle.
I know.
And Barry's in there.
That's the first thing I noticed. I'm like, oh, Dingle and Barry are all in there.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beavis and Butthead generation speaks.
Oh man.
Oh man, I love it. I wonder if anybody even remembers Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, they're hard to forget if you've ever seen them once.
I know.
I really like this shot a lot. I think that Craig did an amazing job, lighting this and making sure that the name is readable. It's easy to see. So we've got many things that we need to see in this image especially from a commercial standpoint, right? Is you got the brand name, you've got clearly what it is. We know it's gin. If that wasn't clear, you might not know. And then of course we get some of the advertisement that's on the face of the bottle itself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's lit in a way that I think is really, really clever.
Yeah.
It's really nice. So incredibly well done. Incredibly well done.
I thought you were going to say something about it being too close to the frame here and the bottle cap being cut off. That doesn't bother you?
I'm okay with the bottle cap, and I'm okay with how tight it is in the top left and the top, because it's intentional. It's balanced. It's there on purpose. It's not lopsided, and so it's purposeful. And so I'm okay with that because of what the subject matter is and where we're trying to focus. The dingle is properly balanced in the lower left hand corner. I can't. I gotta say, I always name my hard drives and my folders something unique. I'm gonna have to name a drive dingle now. And can you imagine when you
and
in
Barry.
class? All right. Or a folder. Everybody copy your files into the dingle folder. Now sort those out and put them into the pudding folder, and then
that's what we do. That's what we do. Yeah, and low base guy is saying, and just like that, the stream is over. Ain't nobody got time for that.
We're so easily distracted.
We are.
I do wish, very subtly, and for commercial use, this isn't a big deal, but I do wish that the corners in the top left and right were balanced. I don't know that you could have tweaked the bottle in a way that those corners were the same. But I feel like having that extra space in the top right doesn't add to the overall image within the frame, but that's also a good place for copy. So commercially, it could be really good.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, you could do all kinds of stuff.
And this would be an image, as I'm thinking back now, as is Stephen Scharf's, that would do really well in an image competition. I think these could do really well. Yeah.
Cool. Very cool. All right. All right, that was Craig Stampley. Thank you, sir. And the next up is Joshua Summerfelt. He says we wouldn't have botanicals without pollinators like this hoverfly. Yeah.
Nice.
There we go.
Man.
What say you about this shot, Troy Miller?
I'm just amazed at how sharp that bee is, or fly. Is it a fly or a bee? I didn't read the...
He's a hoverfly.
I'm going to call it a... See, I would call it a bee just because of the coloring. But he said it's a hoverfly.
Yeah.
No, I do. I dig that. Compositionally, it's great. The image adjustment and attention to detail is just exceptional. I know that Joshua just does an amazing job prepping these images, so I appreciate the detail. Even down to the, what would those be, little antennae on the very tip of the fly.
Mm-hmm. He said this is a bee mimicking a hoverfly.
Oh, okay. All right. Either way, the technical detail is fantastic, and I love the color palette. You know, where you've got the bee, the color pattern, and then the color of the flower with the green in the background. Like, I really feel like, oh, this was in a garden, and you know, the color contrasts lead me through the image. So I like that.
Yeah. I just love the detail in these shots that Joshua submits. Like, I'm lost in the wings. I look at the wing pattern, and I'm like, my brain is just like, why is it designed like that? And look how paper, well, not even paper. Just look how thin the wings are and transparent, and they can still lift all that. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. It is really wonderful. I would only suggest maybe a little more dodging and burning to bring down the left and bottom areas of the image. You know, I feel like the flower is competing with the darkness of the bee itself.
Yeah, because you look at the flower and the flower is slightly out of focus. So you see that first because it's the brightest thing, and then you look at the bee and see that the bee is tack sharp. But it's the second thing you see in the shot. So yeah, I agree. If you push the values of that flower back a little bit, or even vignette somehow, or otherwise just sort of make it compete less with the bee mimicking the hoverfly. Then we go to the idea would be make us look at the insect first.
Right, and you just have more reflective surface on the flower. So you just trying to bring that down a little bit. And it looks like to me, like off to the right of the bee, right at those two top petals at like 2 and 3 o'clock, or 1 and 2 o'clock, like there is a hot spot right there. And that just may be the nature of the flower.
Yeah. You know what I found interesting? You see right here on the bee, it looks like he has a little tiny fanny pack on right there. That's what he carries his honey in.
Oh my God. Did you see Wonder Woman 84?
I did yesterday.
The fanny pack references in that movie literally cracked me up. That was the best part of the whole movie.
Did you go throw your collection of fanny packs away after seeing that scene?
No.
That was a trap, by the way, just to make you tell everyone that you have fanny packs.
I got a black JanSport fanny pack in my truck. I don't wear it, but circa 1990 or something.
Oh yeah, Louis guy says he watched it yesterday. Yeah, I'm curious what people think about that. That'll be surely a topic for discussion in the community, and maybe at the mixer this Friday. I'm curious to think what people liked about it. So
yeah,
or what people didn't like. I was entertained. I was not sad to have watched it. We'll say that.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I did enjoy the fanny pack and all of the clothing references and stuff, which was great. He did a good job. They did a good job.
That's right. Right.
It was
and
fun.
Gal Gadot. I mean, come on. Yeah, she's pretty amazing. She's the perfect Wonder Woman. Did you see the post-credit scene in there, by the way?
Both of them.
Oh, there was more than one? I only saw one.
Two? No, there was just one. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Linda Carter. Yeah.
Yeah, Linda Carter. Yeah, and Stephen Scharf says he just likes Gal Gadot. Yeah, man, I hear you. She if there was a lesser actor in that role, it would have been a different movie completely. So, yeah. But cool. All right, Joshua, thank you for the shot, man. Thank you for this. And next up is Ernest Hillet. Ernest says, Botanical, that's a lot at Christmas too. So I renamed this one. Pick one. Okay, let's take a look.
Nice.
See if Mighty lets us look at it. There it is. Look at that. That looks like a painting.
Yay. It does. And I think this is another one of those type of images, less so like the one that we had with Peters. It's not as overpowering, right? So visually it doesn't attack us. And because it's flatter, there's so much stuff for us to look at, and there's depth because we have really big flowers and really little flowers. And so I think that it gives us a lot of contrast in shape and size. And this is really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, this is cool. Yeah, it does draw you into it. I love the color palette too. The purples, the greens, and the blues. Mm-hmm. It just kind of pulls you in. You don't see those colors together that often. So it's interesting just from that perspective, I think.
Yeah. It's a very calming color palette too. I really like that. But I do like the framing. You know, I like how it's shot a little bit more flat. Mm-hmm. Yeah, good composition. I don't really have a lot to add. I mean, print it and hang it on a wall.
No, for sure. Yeah, Scharf says looks like a painting by Van Gogh. Van Gogh.
Yeah, it does fit his color palette. Yeah, it definitely does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very nice.
Yep. Cool. Images like this are always interesting to me because it's not something that it's kind of like shooting a sunset or any landscape. It's not something that the photographer created, but the photographer had to figure out how to capture.
Mm-hmm. So how to interpret it.
Always interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very cool.
All right. And that's it. That's the last shot. All right, so now comes the time where we pick the favorite. You pick the favorite child. Let's see. Let's take a look here. I'm curious, community that are watching this. What do you guys think? What are your? Troy and I have already decided what our favorites are. So we were talking about that before we started rolling. So we already know. Yeah. I have that one up on the screen that I will share in just a second. But I'm curious what the community thinks. You guys have seen the shots. Do you? In fact, let me just scroll through them real quick so you guys can see them again. Let me scroll to the top here. Let's go to screen share. All right. So here we are. We're going to judge this one, Stephen Scharf. This one, Raphael Timbergeek. Mr. Rhino. Armando with the alien spores. Mr. Pronsky. Michael DeRay. Nora Zanotnis. Lamb. Well, yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Lamb. Peter Levschen. Craig Stampley. Joshua Summerfelt. Ernest Hillet. All right. What do you guys think? Give us your thoughts in the chat. I'm curious what you folks think. I want to see what people think. I want to see if they chose the same one we chose, Troy.
Yeah, I don't know. I've already put it in the list, so it's already official.
It's already loaded. I demand a recount. Yeah. You can't be. What is that? You're counting before the election's over? What's up?
There's no recount. You can't. No, not here. No.
That's not even fair. It's rigged. This whole thing is rigged. I quit.
It's all good.
All right. No one's saying anything in the chat. Okay. No one has any thoughts. You're free to vote for your own low base guy, Armando, Stephen.
Everybody should vote for themselves, and then there'd be no winner, right?
All right. Well, no one's saying anything. Yeah. Stop the count. Fake news. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to share our favorite since you guys are shy. You ready for it? Drum roll. Here we go. Dun dun.
Yay. Yeah, I love it.
Stephen Scharf.
I love it.
Congratulations, man. This is cool. Very cool shot. Those ferns almost look metallic. They literally look like if you touched them, you'd cut yourself.
They do. And it for me, it was a really tough pick between Ernest's and Stevens. And I think that, for me, the thing was just that it was this subtle artistic interpretation of something that we see quite obviously if it wasn't in the photograph. And I like the artistic approach. It doesn't have anything to do with the fact that Stephen went black and white. It's just that I think that the simplicity of the nature fits really well for me. And I think it fits the category really well.
I agree. Yeah. And Low Base Guy says that would look good as a metal print. Yeah, for sure. Right. This would look killer. Man.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Stephen, you have to print this. You got to print it. You got to print it and hang it up. Metal. Cool.
Yep.
All right. So we're at the end of this one, my friend, or the end of this year, in fact. So what's, do you have the list put together for 21? The topics for 21 yet?
I do, actually. Yeah. Yeah. I've put them together.
And are we starting next week, or are we starting the week after next?
Well, that is something that we have to discuss, because we have to do the final judging of these images and then jump into the next images. So it just depends on how quickly that we want to do that. So
I think we see, part of me wants to do like a full 52 week and make sure, because I want to see if we can get one critique in every week for 52 weeks and 21. But at the same time, I feel like we need to use an episode for the award ceremony to wrap it all up, to wrap up this last critique season and to launch the next one. So I say we make the next critique, so Monday, the sort of wrap up award, and that'll also give me a week to kind of make sure we have the prizes and all that stuff in order. So that's what we'll do. Right. But you could still announce what the next critique will be. So that just means people have 2 weeks to get their images in for that one. So
yeah,
there you go.
Yeah. Okay. So the next two topics, and this is in the order that they're going to be, and the first one is celebration. Since we're coming into a new year, so it's celebration, and then after that will be cold. So if you live in the northern hemisphere, it's cold. If you're in the southern hemisphere, well, you've got to figure out cold. So,
and some people celebrate the cold, right?
Yeah, celebrate the cold, or wish it was cold, and then after that, it's open. So, I have dates, but I know that we might bump those one direction or the other. So, but those are the first three topics. So it's going to be celebration, cold, and then open.
Yeah. And let's hope folks don't go out to celebrations on New Year's Eve to get a shot for us. Please, feel free to stay at home and take pictures of celebrations happening on TV. Just saying, stay safe.
Right. Hey, you can celebrate from your backyard or from your living room or your garage or, the front seat of your car. You can celebrate lots of places.
Absolutely. Cool. All right. Celebration for the next one. Then right after that will be cold. And then right after that will be open. So you have your marching orders, and we'll see how that goes. This has been good, man. Thanks for doing this all year. This has been one of the highlights of my week, getting to sit down and nitpick over these awesome images. And thanks everyone that's been participating in these critiques as well. It's fun. I think hopefully it's been helpful to you guys. And just to put a bow on it, the world of photo critiquing is an imprecise, subjective, voluntary kind of effort, right? So again, Troy and I don't propose to be any sort of rule or standards makers when it comes to photographic imagery. We're just two guys who know something about photography and have opinions about stuff, right? Sometimes they contrast, like when Troy's completely wrong about borders and key lines, and sometimes they're in alignment, like when Troy agrees with me. So, But no, this is good. In all seriousness, there's no one right way to do anything. Like if you've watched any of these critiques, you know that the folks in the TWiP Pro community are all over the place in terms of what they like to shoot, which is awesome. Which makes it a great photographic community, and I love it. Wouldn't have it any other way. So, you have any final words to round out the year for us, Troy Miller? Since these critiques are kind of your brainchild in a lot of ways. So what do you think?
A big round of applause and a thank you to everybody who's participated. You guys all did an amazing job. Every single one of the images we discussed, we thoroughly enjoyed looking at, and there was artistic license and creativity in all of them. And I think that it's, everybody should be proud of themselves for putting in time and creating those, right?
Yeah.
Like it's, and don't stop there. Like keep doing it. Just keep pushing.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Keep playing, keep trying. And there are no rules. There are no right answers. There may be some wrong answers, or no, there are no wrong answers, but there may be some guidelines you should stay on in photography. But even that, it's all subjective. It's that's the cool thing about this stuff. It's technology, it's psychology, it's chemistry, it's science, it's physics, it's all that stuff sort of rolled in together, which means you will never figure it out. You will never know everything there is to know about every way to create an image or process it.
Everything there is to know, almost.
And you know what?
One or two.
That is why you fail. Oh man, it was so nerdy. I love it.
Nearly perfect.
Nearly perfect. All right, so we'll leave it at that. Thank you everybody for checking this out. I'm gonna rewatch Wonder Woman again today, and I'm gonna watch the new Pixar film Soul. Have you seen that yet?
I have not. No, I haven't seen that.
The newest Pixar flick is out. Got to go check that out. Well, cool. Well, thank you everybody. Be safe. Be kind to each other. Be happy. Look at the bright side. There's always a bright side of stuff. And know that we're going to move the TWiP Pro world and TWiP community world are going to move into some pretty cool stuff starting early next year. So get ready for that. Starting with our award ceremony for the critique for 2020. So we'll kick off the year with that, with some good stuff, and then we'll hit the ground rolling. So be prepared for some slightly different tangents to how we do things around these parts. So it should be good.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you, Troy Miller, and we'll end it right there.
All right. Take care, everybody. Be safe. Have fun.
See you, folks.
Happy New Year.
This is TWiP.